Hi guys, we'll start up a short demo on what is an automation about, and then I'll just come up with Selenium. So first, what is an automation? It's just simple. A simulation of any human work by a system or a tool is called as an automation. Simple to say, if you're doing a work and then you're converting that same work to be done by a system or a tool is called as an automation. Why we go for automation here? There are a lot of advantages when you want to go to an automation. The first advantage of going to of an automation is always you can get an accuracy on automation. Why? It's always actually in your coding part you'll be just giving an information that what you have to perform the task in automation. So the system doesn't have any sixth sense. It knows as what you have given an action to perform, the same thing it needs to perform there. That's what it can do. That's why always an accuracy will be there. It will be always reliable from your side. A simple example to give to you, I want to cut a rod for 10 centimeter. I'm asking you to cut a rod for 10 centimeter by you. You can cut it properly. The same rod, if I'm giving it for totally 10 rods, then also you can give you perfectly with accuracy. The same thing if I'm giving it to cut the same rod for 10,000 times. For 1000 rods I want you to cut for 10 centimeter, and also I'm giving a time limit. For you per rod it takes for you to cut for perfectly for 10 seconds, means the same 1000 rods I want you to take 10 seconds only. At that point of time you cannot give me the same accuracy for all the 1000 rods. There what your manual works fails. The same thing if I'm giving it to a respective system or a tool, it's not 1000 rods. If I give it for 10,000 rods also, it can cut it for perfectly 1000 with the same accuracy for me. That's the advantage on going with automation here. It's always reliable, and also I can repeat it for n number of times. The same action, if it is recorded, it can repeat it for n number of times in automation tool. That's the another advantage. The next one is it's reusable. Why we will be calling it as reusable? Because once it is automated, I can use the same information for n number of times. The same thing reusable. You can take a small example. Every information is an automation tool here. Your fan is an automation tool. You can reuse for n number of times. Your bike, your car, even a small information right now in the world, everything has been automated. Everything can be reused. The another most advantage of this automation is faster here. The same example, if I take it here, this 10 centimeter of rod, I want you to cut. I told you that I want you to take only 10 seconds. The same thing if I'm giving it to a tool, it will not take 10 seconds. If you manually you can take 10 seconds, means the same thing, the tool will take lesser than you. The tool will be always 10 times faster than a manual work there. That's why we will go for faster. It's simple to give you a small example. You can take any car company, Tata Motors or anything, you can just take. Everything right now in the company is being automated there. Per day they can produce around 100 cars to 200 cars. Per day they can take it there. So you know what? Because of this, what they can perform it entirely in a faster manner. The same thing if it's not automated, manually you want to do means per day they can produce at least minimum of less than 10 cars only. If it is automated, that's why they can produce around 100 to 200 cars per day. Because of this, what happened for them, the cost is being reduced. Final cost has been reduced. Why? Means per day if they are able to produce around 100 to 200 cars, their revenue will be what more. Because of them, the profit will be more. So what the fact is being reduced here always. The cost is always been, final cost has been reduced in your automation. That's why everyone go for automation. That's the main advantages. Still more we have a lot of advantages, but these are the main advantages in using your automation here. Likewise, we have automation advantages on automation. We also have some disadvantages on it. What are the disadvantages? The main thing, an extra skill set is always required in your automation. The next is initial cost is more. What is the extra skill set? It's simple. If you want to drive a bike, you have to know how to use it. If you want to use a system, you should know how to start the system and then how to use the respective applications on it. Likewise, everything in automation needs an extra skill set. A normal labor person cannot come and work with automation. He needs to learn the tool, and then only you can utilize the tool in a proper manner. That's why always extra skill set is required. In a single day you cannot start the automation in a faster manner. So first you have to learn the tool, how to use it in a proper way. That's what needed in the automation. Initial cost is more. Why initial cost is more? When simple. First, I told in Tata Motor company per day they can produce around 100 cars. First, for that they have to buy the tool. For that automation tool, it's costlier. So they have to invest a huge money to get the respective automation tool there. For minimum at least for 3 to 4 years they cannot see any profit or margin on it. But after the 4 to 5 years onwards, everything which they are able to generate with the help of the automation tool is full completely a revenue for them. That's why they again go for automation here. So initial cost is more, but the final cost is always reduced there. The important thing here means the human errors will lead to major consequences if it is not identified properly. How? Here I told that I want you to cut a rod for 10 centimeter. Instead of giving 10 centimeter, if you are giving the respective rod to build for cut for 100 centimeter or else 1 centimeter, what will happen? It will perfectly cut the rod for what is the data you have sent. What will happen? Before you recognize that you have given a wrong data, the entire set will be finished. So what will happen? It will lead to a major problem to you. The profit is not only the profit, the investment what you made itself will be a loss for you. So that's why if the respective human errors is not identified at the proper time, it will be leading to major consequences. That's what the disadvantages of the automation. But compared to the disadvantages, always the advantage are more in automation. That's why everyone prefers automation here. Okay, this is what a normal automation tool. Now we will come up to the software industry. In software industry, right now we have different automation tools in market. I am talking about compared to the testing part. Apart from testing part, you have a lot of tools, but ours is what we have to see about software testing part. In that right now, Selenium and QTP, these both are right now famous in the industry. These two are more famous. Okay, Selenium is what right now is a open source, and then QTP is a paid version. For QTP, if you want to buy, you have to pay around 8 to 10 lakhs for using the system. The same thing for Selenium, there is no charging for the system here. So that's why everyone started to prefer Selenium here. Apart from that, we also have some other automation tools also. WinBlender, Silk Test, Vatir, RFT, Test Complete, Robotium. Right now, Robotium is also becoming famous, but not up to the mark as Selenium and QTP has achieved. These are the different tools in the market. When you want to use Selenium, you have to know a language called Java, but also it supports other 5 languages. Totally it supports around 6 languages, but right now Java is what everyone supports, everyone is using in the market. For QTP, it supports, simple to say, it supports only VB scripting alone, okay, which is an easiest language to learn. Now when you come to performance related tools, we have JMeter and LoadRunner, Silk performance things. So in that, JMeter is an open source, LoadRunner is an advanced, LoadRunner is what means it's a paid version here. Now everyone started to prefer JMeter because of the usage and then the report usage, and also what is a free tool. Next, test management tools, we have Test Director, Quality Center, and Test Manager, Bugzilla, Mantis, everything. So right now what Quality Center is a Microsoft product, LoadRunner is a HP product, Quality Center, LoadRunner, and then QTP, everywhere is what an HP product here. So they come up in all-rounder. This Test Director, JMeter, Selenium, everything is what different respective information, but they are also famous in the market here. Now we'll see, these are the tools we have seen. Now we'll see in automation what are the test cases that can be automated, that cannot be automated. Simple to say, if you want to automate test cases, make sure that you are working on different browsers, and then regression test cases. What is the different browsers here, and then also different OS also we have. Different browsers means simple, that is actually Firefox, Chrome, IE, like that we have different browsers here. In this, right now if you see in the market, okay, everyone started to use n number of browsers here. The same application should support for different browsers. but the information is what you have to do the same testing what you have done in the Firefox. The same thing you have to do in your Chrome also. So at this point of time, what is that you have to do? You have to work in the same information. The same testing you have to do in the different browsers. So for those things, if you write code, the same coding you can use it for the different browser also. Once it has been automated in Firefox, the same coding you can use it for Chrome, IE and everything. So what is the advantage here? Your time saving is there. Okay, if it is working properly in Firefox, most probably it will work on your Chrome and then IE, everywhere, Safari, everything also. So it's better to go for automation there. Next, you can also go for regression related test cases. What is regression related test cases? The same thing. When you're doing regression testing, what you will do, you will be testing the same already worked information, functionality. You will be testing whether the functionality is again working properly or not. So at that point of time, you will be again going with regression test cases for each and every iteration. Those test cases, it's better to automate. That's why we will go for automation for those things. Then working with multiple set of data. Multiple set of data means the same testing that need to be done with different set of data. At that time also you can go with automation here. What are the test cases that cannot be automated? Means simple. Dynamically changing test cases. That means what? The requirement is not stable. Still there may be some changes in the requirement. At that point of time, don't go for automation here. Performance related test cases also don't go for automation. It's better to go with these performance related test tools. Don't go for automation for performance related test cases and UI related test cases. What is means user interface. You can't check whether the respective button is placed at the left side or right side. Otherwise, what is the size of the button and whether the text alignment is properly done or not. Those test cases you don't go for automation because that cannot be given a proper result there. So those are the informations why you need to go for automation. Right now, I'll be telling you about Selenium. Selenium, I already told, it's a tool which is free source, open source. But how come only because of the open source does it become famous? No. There are a lot of advantages on using Selenium also. Why? First, it is an open source. I already told you. The next information is multiple OS supported. That is, your respective QTP supports only your Windows alone. It will not support your Ubuntu and all those things. But Selenium supports different OS. That is, it supports Windows and Ubuntu. Right now in the software industry, everyone are converting from Windows application to Ubuntu because Ubuntu is what is a free version there. The normal personal usage cost itself is 5,500 per license. The same thing when it comes over to software industry, they charge around 12,500 to 25,000 the professional package. So everyone they are shifting for Ubuntu. So the Selenium supports Ubuntu and also it supports your Windows based application. So that's why they go for Selenium. So the advantage is what here it does not support your different browser testing also. It supports your different OS level testing also. That's why we go for Selenium also here. Okay, and one more thing here, Selenium supports only your web based applications only. But QTP supports web based application plus your Windows based applications only also. But even though why Selenium is famous means right now in the industry everyone are using your web based applications only. Why? 90% of applications are used for web based. Why before everyone were using Windows based application, but right now everyone is shifting to web based application. Why? Means it's simple. Because Windows based application means what? The application need to be installed in your system. If it is installed in your system, the data, everything will be stored under your system only. If the software company want to work on that application, if there are any problem faced by the customer, means what will happen? The respective software company need to come there and they need to send a person to the customer place and then they need to check what is the problem. If it is a web based application, the data can be stored in any of the server and then it can be used from any of the place. You can contact to the server and then you can get the data set from there and then you can work on it. So that's why everyone prefers right now web based applications, not the Windows based application. Your Selenium supports the web based applications, so that's why everyone go for Selenium here. Selenium, when it came to the industry, okay, they came up with three versions here. Okay, first, how Selenium came into the industry means, okay, Selenium was being introduced by a company called ThoughtWorks. It has been introduced by a company called ThoughtWorks. When they introduced Selenium to the market, they introduced with a name called Selenice. That is the first name it has been given to the Selenium. Then later on they need to say enhance their product, okay, because the Selenice, when it has been introduced, they add lot of drawbacks on it. They got lot of feedbacks and suggestions from all over the company, and then they want to enhance their product. So once they enhance their product, at that time they gave a name called Selenium IDE. The Selenium IDE is what means is just a record and playback tool. You don't need to learn any scripting if you want to work on Selenium IDE. So this tool, when it came to the market, it supports only Firefox browser alone. The advantage of it means it's open source, it's simple to use, and also it supports multiple OS here. Okay, that is Windows and Ubuntu also, but it does not support different browsers. I told you it supports only Firefox browser alone. That is what the advantages on it. Okay, but the disadvantages on it was what? Password encryption cannot be done here, and then it does not support different browsers. Only Firefox has been supported here. Frameworks cannot be designed. What does a framework mean? It's simple. That is an user-friendly information. That is storage of your files and folder, and then your allocation. That is how the structure need to be maintained. All those things cannot be done properly using framework here. Then looping conditions also is not supported here. By default, if you want to run parallelly that same test case in a n number of times, that is not supported by default. But by helping an user extension file, it can support here. It cannot be supported for complex related applications, and also it cannot be used for long-term projects. These are a disadvantage. Compared to the advantages, lot of disadvantages was there. So they need to come up with some solution. So they thought, instead of making it to a new information, what they thought, they can make up with a new tool itself. So they introduced a new version called Selenium RC, which is called as Selenium Remote Control. IDE is called as Integrated Development Environment. RC is called as Remote Control here. So they came up with new solution with RC. So what they supports all the browsers, Firefox, Chrome, IE, everything they support, and also it can be supported for complex application and long-term projects also. Frameworks also can be designed here. Password encryption also is being done here. What is the password encryption means? It's simple. That is, you don't want to show your password to anyone. If you're working on a banking related applications, you don't want to show your password to anyone. At that time, you can encrypt and decrypt your passwords here. It is not Selenium supports, that is the language support. The Selenium RC is what means they have removed the playback tool, record and playback tool they have removed. If you want to work on it, you want to work with scripting. That is, it supports totally 6 languages: Java, Ruby, Python, Perl, C# and .NET. It supports totally 6 languages here. So in that, Java is most famous right now in the industry. So the Java and then all the languages, password encryption and decryption is supported. That's what Selenium RC has been taken. Next, when come up with your Selenium RC, okay, the Selenium RC is what means it does not support your Android based application, and also the performance was low here. So these are the two disadvantages, major disadvantages here. So again, to come up with a new information, okay, they come up with a new version, they come up with WebDriver. So WebDriver, with that help, they supported all the disadvantages and advantages. Everything has been supported here. So what supports different browsers, can be used for complex application and long-term projects. Frameworks also can be designed, and it's also support Android based applications also. Here what? The performance levels also they have made it good here. Like that they have come up with all the advantages here. So here they use a concept called API. With the help of the API, they made the Selenium WebDriver. That is actually they can connect with the different, they can integrate their respective application with the different softwares also. Using, for example, to say, if they want, they can connect their information with the Excel sheet, and then after that your respective Word document, Notepad, like that, any of the informations, Chrome browser, everything, they can support it. That is the respective their application, they will give their respective API to them. With that API they can support their applications here. That's what has been supported with the help of the Selenium WebDriver. So everything has been done here. So that's what the version from IDE, RC, and then finally we come up with the WebDriver. Right now in the industry everyone use WebDriver here. So that's what about you, how the Selenium came into the industry. So if you want, there are a lot of things we need to learn here. So from our session, what are the things we are covering up here means, I'll just show you a small detail here. What are the topics we are covering here means, first we will start our session with Selenium IDE. Okay, these are the, we will be just going with what is the introduction to IDE, and then we'll be learning these informations. Okay, what is the usage of Selenium IDE and then how to automate it. All informations will be less looking on it, and also you will be learning the different add-on informations. Okay, what is the add-on information means? That is actually you want to work with some different property informations. Okay, that is you have to identify the property information of an element. What is an element means? Simple, I'll just take some information. Okay, I'll take an application. An element, okay, we'll be calling this a web element. This text box information, and then after your checkbox, your button, your link, everything is called as a web element. Okay, why it's called as a web element? It is present under a web browser. That is what's why it's called as a web element here. Okay, so you will learn how to identify the information of an element, the property information of an element with some add-ons here. Then after that you will be learning with RC. What is the architecture of it, and then how to write a program in your RC. Then finally you come up with Java. Why we learn Java means, okay, here for interview purpose also you will learn. Okay, compared to Selenium usage, you will need some more Java, little bit information on Java. Why? When you go for an interview, it's not sure that only a tester will take an interview for you. A developer also comes and take the interview. He doesn't know anything about Selenium, so he knows only Java. So that's why he will ask questions only on Java. So that's why we will learn Java also here. We will learn these many concepts on Java, and then finally you come up with WebDriver. In your WebDriver, what are the things you will be? You will be learning different elements to automate. All the different elements to automate on WebDriver. Everything you will learn, and finally you come up with your automation, your framework, your automation framework. Okay, in that you will be learning JUnit and TestNG both. Okay, how to work on JUnit and TestNG, and finally, okay, I'll be showing you a project on ActiveTime. I'll take this ActiveTime, this application as our project, and then on that project I'll be showing you this respective JUnit as your framework. With that we'll be showing you information, and then we'll come up with the solution here. And finally I'll be showing you entire information on the framework here, and finally I'll also forward you the videos. That is what, okay, once the session has been completed, okay, I'll be also sending you the video information and the setup file information. What is a setup file? Everything means, okay, so first I'll be giving you some videos information. I already told you. What is this video information means? Simple. What is the session has been taken? I'll be just recording it, and then I'll be showing you.
Extra things, what are the things we added to the platform?
Okay, I'll just mute it.
Right now.
Okay, I'll be sending you some video information here. How information has been taken, entire information I'll be forwarding you. Along with that, I'll also give you some setup information. What are the setup information means? Okay, so how the structure of the framework has been designed, I'll be just forwarding you. This is how, okay, each and everything, the structure of the framework. Okay, there are totally, I have separated into 7 stages here. The 7th stage, this is what your original framework is about. This information I'll be finally sending to you. Okay, and also with the setup file. Okay, here I'll be separated into totally 7 stages here. What are the 7 stages mean? From stage 1 to stage 2, what is the project name, and then what are the packages you'll be having, what are the jar fields you need to add, and what are the class fields. Okay, that is what is the program, and then Excel sheet. Okay, and then if you come over here, okay, you'll be writing some programs. In the programs you'll be having some methods. In the method, what is the respective method is going to do for you, what is the usage of the method, everything I'll be explaining you. So this, I already told you that the single framework will be separated to 7 stages. Okay, the 7th stage is the original framework. But why I have separated to 7 stages is to make it to understand for you easier way. Stage 1 to stage 7. Okay, what each and everything step by step I will be giving you the information what has been done in each and every stage. That is, I will be adding little bit information. Okay, so to make your life easier, to understand the framework in an easier way. See here, this is stage 1. Compared to the stage 2, you can see some green marks here. What is the green mark means? That is a newly added information from the stage 1 to stage 2, and then stage 3 some other informations. Okay, see, that's what I showed you in the setup file also. Compared to the stage 1, 2 and 3, see, this is a change. This is stage 2, then this one is a stage 3. I have added some extra package and some class files here, and some extra properties files here. Then there are some changes. Okay, all the changes informations I will be showing you in the framework file, this setup file. This is what about our total structure. Okay, so if you're interested, you can just join, just come for a demo. We'll just give you the information of what is the total Selenium is about, and then your package and everything. Okay, hope you have enjoyed this one. We'll come up with the next information on it. Thank you.